Okay, here's the thing. When I discuss Modern Family, a big point that I make continuously is that all of the kids are neglected. And people try to tell me I'm wrong. But here's the thing. You really can't tell me that I'm wrong because all of the kids in Modern Family are neglected in some way, shape, or form. Now, people just have the biggest arguments about which kid is more neglected and why. And I think that's a really important point to make and a really important point to look at, because if you have a certain kid that you think is more neglected, I think it actually shows a bit more of like how you were raised in the household that you were raised in versus the household that another person might have been raised in. And there's no right answer. Actually, that's a lie. There is a correct answer, and the correct answer is Lily. But there's also no correct answer because there's also another correct answer, and the correct answer would be Joe. And there's just so much more that you could say about all of this. But the thing is, actually my entire plan was to not talk about Modern Family in this video, specifically to say all the kids in Modern Family are neglected and then start talking about Rivals. Rivals, the Hulu TV show, so written by, like, based off of the book written by Jilly Cooper in the 1980s, and just discuss how Taggy is consistently neglected, to the point that they completely missed her dyslexia. But now I need someone to comment specifically on YouTube, someone comment and remind me that I want to make a Rivals video, because I'm going to go into the concept of why people think that each different child from Modern Family is more neglected than another. So there are the people who really don't think that Haley is neglected because Haley is the one who gets all of Claire's attention, right? And the thing is, yes, Haley's getting all of Claire's attention, but Haley's only getting all of Claire's attention when Haley is doing something wrong. So if Haley's not doing something wrong or isn't doing something wrong enough that Claire starts getting worried about it, Haley's really not getting the attention she deserves. So Haley doing badly in school never seems to bother Claire, never seems to bother Phil, never seems to be an issue. It's just something that's kind of pointed out. Haley's stupid. That's the point that's continuously made. Haley's stupid. The rest of the, like, Alex is smart, Haley is stupid, Luke is stupid, they all dropped the ball, Haley one day is gonna marry Rich. And people don't consider this neglect because Haley consistently has her mother on her ass about every decision that she makes. But not her school decisions, unless you count the earthquake episode, in which point we have Phil actively going out of his way to try and prove is the wrong word, but to try to fix things that literally almost killed his kids, because he always tells Claire that he did things and then doesn't actually do them, because that's so Phil. So funny, so cute, so handsome, whatever. Anyways, and Claire that entire episode is like grounding Haley for not doing her homework and getting mad at her for not studying and telling her that she has to study. And like we do see some worry with Claire on the concept of Haley studying and Haley doing well. But we also see that there are jokes consistently about the fact that Haley has an eating disorder, and you could say, oh, those are just jokes, but you could also say that they try to show us over and over and over again and over again, excuse me, that Haley has an eating disorder, specifically by telling us that she has an eating disorder to make jokes about it, really only to make jokes about it, and then we never get anything, we never get more, we never get feedback, we never get any of the good stuff for like how this could happen and how this could be like not fixed but amended, helped, healed. Instead, they just kind of ignore it and they make jokes about it and they let Alex make jokes about it, and that's it. And then we've got the Alex of it all, because here's the thing, Alex is the one that a lot of people like to tell me is the neglected one, okay? I'm just gonna look here, okay? I'm looking in between the 2 points to try and do this, because now that I'm filming on TikTok and on YouTube, it's like it's a whole different ball game, whatever. Alex is one people like to tell me is the most neglected, because when I talk about the show and when I talk about the kids in the show, I will always say that Lily and Luke are the two most neglected kids in the show, and people get so mad because Luke gets more attention than Alex. So Alex, while she's not getting attention, should therefore be the one who is the most neglected. But you could argue 2 points. One, Alex may be the one who has the mental breakdown, but Alex has the mental breakdown by season 7. Claire not only acknowledges the mental breakdown, she looks into it. She figures out the reasoning behind it. She doesn't help Alex get to therapy, but like she picks Alex up from therapy and tells Alex that she sees her. And that's supposed to be the whole, I'm talking from the wrong part of my throat. 1 second. I'm like seriously feeling myself hurt my vocal cords. One pink poodle paddled up the pool while the other pink poodle paddled down. One pink poodle paddled up the pool while the other pink poodle paddled down. So Alex is the one that people like to say is consistently the most neglected because specifically she's the one that's getting the least attention. She's the one who's not getting the attention from Phil. She's the one that's not getting the attention from Claire. Unless Alex is causing trouble, Alex really is also not getting attention. But that's also the issue with all three of the Dunphy kids. Unless the Dunphy kids are causing some sort of trouble or causing some sort of mayhem in the family, they are not going to get the attention that they deserve because the only person who can really give them attention at any given point in time is Claire. Because Phil only gives his kids attention if he thinks that his kids can do something that Phil will find meaningful. Phil only finds very specific things meaningful, which is also why we only see Phil and Luke hanging out together for the most part, except for that one episode where Phil is like, oh my god, I've never done anything meaningful for my middle child ever. I'm going to do an entire day of just spending time with her. And that's it. That and when he visits her at college. Now, one of the only times where I think that Phil is actually a good parent overall is when he visits Alex at college. That's one of the only times I ever think that he's a good parent, and I should talk about that more because I think it's a very important episode and actually a really beautiful storytelling point. We are 6 minutes into this video. I'm only on the second kid, but the thing is with Alex, yes, she's neglected. Yes, she's not being looked at, but Alex is the one who technically is the one who does not need as much care. This is not a self-cleaning oven thing. This is specifically Claire looks when she knows something has to be done. Phil never looks whatsoever. Alex is neglected, Haley's neglected, and I would say that they're actually equally neglected on both parts because Alex is so smart that her parents never think to look at all the other things that she's doing in life, but Haley is so dumb that they only look at the other things that she's doing in their life, and that's when we get to Luke. And again, because Phil spends so much time with Luke, people try to tell me that Luke's not neglected. Because Phil spends so much time with Luke, people try to tell me that Luke is not neglected, and that is BS, okay? It's BS, because Luke is actively the most neglected kid. He has raging ADHD. His parents know this. Claire tries to get him help. And Phil not only says no, fights it, won't take him to the doctor, gets really upset when Claire tries to take him to a doctor, pulls Luke out of the doctor, Luke literally gets forgotten in the parking garage by both parents because they're fighting, has to find his way home by himself, and because he does such a good job at not getting kidnapped, wish I were kidding, because Luke does such a good job at not getting kidnapped, his parents decide that actually maybe he doesn't need help, he's doing great, Luke is fine. That's the only storyline we actually get where Luke is really looked at as a person other than his birthday episode, which if you watch my YouTube series, I just did the rewatch for that episode, the Fizbo episode, is an episode where each adult is actually trying to vicariously live through Luke on Luke's birthday instead of helping Luke to actually celebrate his birthday. So they're all trying to do their own thing on Luke's birthday to celebrate Luke by really celebrating their childhood once more. Luke is so actively ignored that their parents just don't know anything about him, which brings us to Lily. Because Lily literally has 2 separate episodes where she has to find food by herself because her parents forget to feed her. This is not something where we're discussing the concept of how gay men shouldn't have kids, because if you believe that, I hope that you step on Legos every day for the rest of your life. The hard ones, the small ones, the evil ones, okay? Specifically, Cam and Mitchell are specifically written to be like a straight couple from the 1950s. This is a very conservative show featuring a gay couple, okay? That being said, Lily is actively neglected the most because her parents are in such a toxic relationship, again, because they're based off of couples from the 1950s and TV shows, that she is ignored consistently because the parents are spending so much time focusing on each other to give their child a happy home that they're failing to actually give their child a happy home. The show AP Bio does a really, really good job of taking a look at the concept of divorce, where Victor's parents Victor finds out his parents are getting divorced. He's trying to go through a goth emo phase. It's not working. He decides to like get lost in the sewer, which he was supposed to do, but then he like actually gets lost and like his teacher has to go find him. And finally he tells his teacher, my parents are getting divorced and I'm really sad. And the teacher's like, and he's like, please don't tell me it's not my fault. Like, I know it's not my fault. And the teacher goes, yeah, no, it's not your fault that your parents are getting divorced. Actually, it's your fault that they stayed together for so long, and you're going to be much happier now that they are no longer together, because it will be a much less brutal home life. And it's a beautiful look at the concept of what divorce can do for a family. One done right. Good job to AP Bio. Lily is actively the most neglected child in the show. Her parents know literally nothing about her, and again, this is largely because the actress who plays Lily had an actual work-life balance, unlike the rest of her kid co-stars, okay? But it also doesn't help the fact that the writers decided that the funniest thing that they could do, because they're not showing Lily consistently, is just to make it so that her fathers know nothing about her, which normalizes the behavior of parents not paying attention to their kids. Now, the least neglected character in the show, you can argue, is Manny. And everyone will argue that Manny is the least neglected. But Manny is so over-coddled by his mother, who actively, Gloria is a boy mom. Yes, she's so excited about the concept of maybe one day getting Lily as a daughter, but honestly, if Gloria actually had a daughter, if Jo were a little girl, you cannot convince me that the entire thing wouldn't have become Gloria becoming jealous of her child. You cannot convince me. You would be wrong. I know I'm right. I stand on business. But that being said, Gloria pays so little attention to the fact that Manny is actively becoming the worst type of womanizer and the worst type of person who just doesn't respect women, because he seems like such a lover. He seems like such a charming young boy. She's always seeing him as her sweet little boy with his chubby little cheeks, and she loves him so much, and he's so sweet. So she ignores the way that he chases after women as if they're— someone in my comment section once said Manny treats women like conquests, and once he gets them, he stops being interested. Perfect way to put it. He sees them less as people and more as objects that he wants to have, and he thinks that by going into the fake feminism version of the entire concept of feminism, that's how he will get women, which is also in the Women's March episode. So Manny may not technically be neglected, but also he was badly parented to the point that he became the absolute worst version of himself, because no one paid enough attention to notice the worst possible things that I don't know how to put this. Manny as an adult, people say, oh my god, it's so shocking that Manny turned out this way. He was such a sweet little boy. But everything that Manny is as an adult is exactly how he was as an 11-year-old boy. It's just when an 11-year-old boy says that stuff, it's cute. And when a 19-year-old boy says that stuff, it's not cute anymore. It's gross and it's creepy and it's weird. And that's what happened. That's what happened there, okay? And finally, we have Jo. Jo is a character who you forget starts on the show in season 3 or season 4. Jo is there from pretty early on in the series, and you forget so easily. I forget so easily because A, by the time that Jo was written on, we have all of the basic characters, okay? B, by the time that Jo is put into the show, he's a baby. So we're seeing just this little baby carrier and stroller that are always covered rather than actually seeing the baby. And when you do see the baby, you see them for 30 seconds and then they go away and someone's just carrying a sack of flour or a baby doll, blah, blah, blah. Jo ends up being neglected. The person who's closest in the entire series to Jo is Claire, and then Jo gets a huge crush on Claire because she honestly sometimes pays more attention to Jo than his own mother does, because Gloria is so obsessively trying to get Manny's attention once Manny is an adult that Jo's relationship with his mother, while still close, is nowhere near what it was with Gloria, to the point that there's an entire episode where Manny and Gloria have this 4th of July tradition or something like that, and because Manny forgets about it and he's driving across country, Gloria gets so mad that for the entire episode, oh wait, Valentine's Day, for the entire episode, she's just livid, she's ignoring her son. Her son's like actively regressing to try and get his mother to see that he's cute again, and it's not working because she's so focused on her actual, like, basically adult son. And I didn't even get into Pam's child, who's there for an entire, like, 2 seasons, who Cam and Mitchell only really care about because they've always wanted a boy. And who actively is ignored by everyone in his family, and who is forgotten in multiple strollers. Continuous storyline, forgotten in multiple strollers along with Lily. There is not a single kid who got out of Modern Family unscathed. All neglected. All of them, including Manny. I have to go pick up my mom's car. She got sick at work this morning, and now we have to go, like, she's feeling better, and now we have to go pick up the car. But she wanted a bit more time before we had to start driving. I wanted a second to cool off post-work. We made the video. The video's been made. I am tired. This will probably get uploaded at, like, 10 o'clock at night. But technically, I will have uploaded a video today. So that's all that matters, okay? Okay. Someone remind me to talk about Rivals. I have so much to say. I have so much to say. I have so much to say. If I ever meet Declan O'Hara, he's catching these hands, okay? Okay, thank you. Love you.